Up. So welcome to We're Jammin' Student Engagement with Google Jamboard. My name is Hans Tolman and we are with Loudon today. Good to have you guys. Right now we have 5 participants. Glad you guys are here. For those of you who are joining asynchronously, you can find all of these resources at bit.ly/we'rejamminwithhans. And once you get to that website, complete these 3 tasks, you're gonna sign in, find the slides in the chat, share what are you doing for Thanksgiving. And while you guys are sharing that, I'm gonna turn off the music. And my name is Hans Tolman, and I've been in education for 16 years, 3rd grade for 10, tech coach for 4 years, STEAM specialist at Castle for 2 years, and now I'm one of the distance learning TOSAs. And so glad to have you guys today. And did I mention there's a website? And if you do go to this website, you're going to be able to see all of our resources. You'll be able to click on where it says sign in at the top right. You'll just take a moment to sign in, and this will validate my Google training certification. If you click on the slides icon, you'll be able to find our slides and follow along. If you click on videos, you'll be able to see the training I did yesterday for Williams. And this is also where I will drop this recording today. And the evaluation, that's where you're going to show me how I can make this training even better. Williams had some great ideas. The #1 feedback was, I need to slow down. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. I'm going to slow it down. Slow it down, Hans. Under resources, you'll find some helpful resources that are mentioned in our slides today and some Twittervention ideas. So just wanted to point you to this resource. And if there's any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Speaking of the chats, we have Christina, who is staying home, eating and napping. Christina, that sounds like a plan. We're also going to be staying home. We were hoping to get up to Oakland to have some time with family, but this little guy has a fever today, so we're just gonna keep it at home. Daisy, same as Christina, thanks. Ever Campos, good to see you again. Eating and catching up on work, going to try to get back into a workout routine. Good for you. I just ran yesterday for the first time in a month, and it was horrific. So enough about me. Let's jump into Jamboard, guys. What is it? What the heck is Jamboard?
This is Jamboard. It's like a whiteboard, except it's way better. Because it lets this team and this team work together. With this guy who lives in France.
Bonjour.
On the same thing at the same time.
C'est fou.
This is how you write. And erase. But you can also do this. And add some of these. And even turn this into this. And it's got all this other stuff. And so it's really easy to do this. Unless you're no Michelangelo. In which case you can do this. That's because it's part of G Suite. So you can pull in anything from any of these.
Hey guys, I had this room reserved.
And this is how you save your work.
It saves automatically.
Oh, right. It's in the cloud. This is how you pick up where you left off. This is how you share your work.
Got it.
So you never have to do this. Or write this. So you can do more of this. This is Jamboard, a new way to collaborate from Google.
So that's a brief look at what Jamboard is. It's a smart display, but it's also a collaborative whiteboard app that you can access on any device. It can be used for synchronous or asynchronous instruction, and it integrates with Google Workspace. And the display, it used to cost like $6,000. They dropped it down to $5,000, and now BenQ has a deal for half off for $2,500. But do you really need the display? No, you don't, because it's an app you can access on any device. So if we were to go to a new tab on our Chrome browser, we could go to jamboard.google.com and create a Jamboard there. You can also, if you go into your drive, click the plus new, go to more, and there's Jamboard there. You can also find it on your waffle up at the top right. You can also add it as an off-the-cuff, on-the-fly assignment attachment so that you can make a copy of a Jamboard for each student to work on their own jam. You can also download it. It works really well on iOS and Android apps, whether you're on a smartphone or a tablet. So those are the places where you can jam, but let's stop it. Oh, Jonas is excited about ice cream. Let's jump into a Jamboard. So if you want to click on Go Vote here, this is going to jump you out into our Jamboard today. I'm going to copy this link and I'm going to paste it into the chat. So you can just click on the link in the chat. And what I'm going to ask you guys to do on this first frame is I'm going to ask you to vote for your favorite ice cream.
I want that.
You want that one?
Yes.
Okay. And this is how Jonas is going to vote. He's going to click on the little sticky note on the far left in that toolbar. And then he's going to choose a color. What color do you want?
I want green.
Green.
Yes.
He's going to type his name. I'll type for him. And then he's going to click save. He's going to drag his Post-it over to his favorite ice cream, his sticky note. Now I'm going to do the same because I have different tastes than Jonas. And I'm going to drag that to my favorite ice cream. Daisy and I have the correct ice cream. So let's just acknowledge that right now. Oh, Ever isn't moving from vanilla. The thing about vanilla is maybe it's underrated in that it's almost like a blank canvas where you can put anything on that thing, like chocolate or peanut butter or sprinkles or whatever. So to each their own. So here's what we did. We did a really quick activity. It didn't take me long to make this, and we were able to show our opinion on a Jamboard. So after you voted on your favorite ice cream, I want you to look at the top middle. Do you see that stack of 1 to 10? Those are frames. If you click on that, you'll be able to, it will reveal the other 10 frames, and you can click on the arrows or just click on one at a time. Like the second frame says, how could Jamboard be used for student engagement? We're going to skip that now. I'm going to click on the right arrow. What's your favorite, a dog or a cat, Jojo?
Dog.
A dog, okay. So Jojo would put his name on a sticky note and drag it over to the dog. And then if we go to the next frame, we see a number line where you have a stack of fractions and a stack of decimals. So you can find a point on a number line and show that with fractions or decimals. On the next frame, you have a picture of a pig and a stack of letters. So students can practice building words like phonics. And then on the seventh frame, you have a short passage, and the instructions say use a highlighter tool to mark the sentences that show when someone is speaking. Look for the quotation marks. So you could use this highlighting tool. I'm going to click on my toolbar and go from the pen to the marker to the highlighter. I can change that color and I can highlight the quoted section. So that could be an activity that your students can do. If you go to the next one, you see a picture of kids playing soccer. This is the 8th frame, and the directions say, what do you see? Use the pen or sticky notes to describe this picture. What do you see, Jojo?
I see the boy.
You see a boy. If you go to the next one, you see XY axis where you can choose. I'm going to go with marker blue, and you can have kids mark points.
I like green.
You like green?
Yes, I would choose green.
Also, I'm going to show you some magic. If you hold down Shift and you drag that marker, you can make a straight line, which is super helpful. And then on the last one, there's some equations, which one doesn't belong, and you can have the kids make their selections and then have a discussion. So I just wanted to take you through this sample. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to explore these different pages, but I'm gonna jump back into our slides. And I have a place on this slide right now. I'm on slide 10. Did you like that? If you go to slide 10, I have a little blue button in the bottom left corner that says make a copy, so you can make a copy of that activity for yourself. So what can you use the Jamboard for? Well, you could actually use it as a presentation device where each frame is like a different slide. You could use it for problem solving, collaborative problem solving, note-taking, mind mapping, sketchnoting. You could do something called graffiti walls, which is after students learn a particular topic or unit, they can show like images and drawings and icons to show what they learned about that particular topic or theme. Interactive timelines, infographic posters, etc. All of these ideas are from my friend Emma Pass, and I linked her blog below. And you can check more out at her blog, but those are just some ideas to consider. And here's some other samples of Jamboard activities. You've already seen some of these, but I also see a new one where I see a pile of numbers and I see students sorting them and putting them in the correct order. So great for primary. But at the bottom, you see some more advanced, like I see a, oh, I can't even think of that tool. Someone drop it in the chat. But find geometry, finding out the angles using a protractor. And then we have a science precipitation graph where they can mark out the different cycle points, and then voting with 4 corners. This is what a Google mind map might look like. People who inspire me. And I see one on the top left where there's a picture of parents and Post-its around them showing why they've made an impact on you. And before we jump into, and if you guys have any ideas, since we have such a small crowd, feel free to unmute your mic and interrupt me. If you guys were more, then I would want you to drop it in the chat, but feel free to interrupt me if you have a question. So some tips: remember to hold down Shift while you're drawing a line if you want to make it a straight line. Control D to duplicate objects. This also works on Google Slides. Control D, duplicate. You can save your jam frame as an image under the 3 dots. Using emoji is a helpful thing. And then we have all of the labels for the toolbar that you saw on the left there. So I've been talking a lot, which I'm not a big fan of, but I want to give you guys a brief amount of time to try to make your own Jamboard. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to go to jamboard.google.com, click the plus sign to make your own Jamboard, and then I want you to use images, sticky notes, emojis, or the drawing tools to create a Jamboard activity that you might use during a live or synchronous lesson with your kids tomorrow. So think about what you're teaching your kids tomorrow. How could you use Jamboard to engage those students with that content? So enough of me talking. I'm gonna go over those instructions one more time, but the rest of you, you can go ahead and get started. So I'm starting my 5-minute timer. And just for the people who need those instructions again, go ahead and find yourself a new tab. So you're gonna leave the Zoom, go to your Chrome browser, Control T, open a new tab. I'll give you a few moments to get there. That's so sweet of you. You filled my bucket. You're going to type in jamboard.google.com and press enter. And jamboard.google.com is the place where all of your jams are going to be found. But what I want you to do is to create a new one by clicking that orange circle in the bottom right that has a white plus sign in it, and it says new jam. So go ahead and create that new jam now. So I'm creating a new jam. And before you get started, title your jam. So click on the title of Untitled Jam and put whatever you want to put. Best, I'm going to call mine Best Thanksgiving Side Ever. Okay. Then you're going to use the toolbar, either using the pens,
I will do the pens.
or there's an eraser,
I want the pens.
or there's a select tool. You can use the sticky notes like last time. You can add images, you can upload them or do a Google image search. You can add shapes.
I will do shapes.
You can add text boxes. And the last little tool is like a laser that will disappear. So go ahead and take the rest of the time. I'm going to stop talking. Oh, one more thing. For those of you who are already building, notice how the top right and that blue share button, it's locked. If you want us to see your work and you want to share it after these 5 minutes, click on that and change it. Change the link from PBVUSD to anyone with the link can view. And then you can copy that link and drop it in the chat if you want to share after our 5 minutes are up. So I'm going to stop talking and give you the rest of your 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Go. If you have questions, unmute your mic or drop them in the chat.
One.
Jojo, can you go get your water, please?
Why?
Because I'm gonna drink more water than you. I'm gonna beat you at drinking water.
No.
No?
No.
All right. You don't want to race, huh? Okay.
That's it. That's it. I be bigger.
Do you have one?
No.
Yeah, you do.
No,
On your water bottle.
no.
Remember? I gave it to you.
How about this one?
This one's Daddy's.
What?
Do you know where yours is?
Where?
Show me.
Good talk.
All right, you guys have about 1 minute left. If you're feeling brave and want to share your idea, share your link in the chat. You can put what you're thinking in the chat as well. How you're thinking about using Jamboard to engage your students.
Here's a silly question. How do you make the font smaller in the text box so that it's not so big?
Great question. So the tricky thing about Jamboard is you're going to have very limited. So like I'm using the text box here. I'm typing best Thanksgiving side ever. And notice how it's kind of broken up. Well, when I click on that, I use these little blue handles to kind of stretch it out. I use the corners to make it bigger.
Okay.
And then the 3 dots, it says I can edit it, but I can also change the justification and the font color. Okay. And a little bit of the font, but really there's no different font styles.
Okay.
So it's a very, very basic, it's not like for word processing.
Okay.
Great question. Man, can you believe our time is up already? Do you guys need more time? Here, let me see if I can, here, I'm gonna see if I see any thumbs. Do you need more time, guys?
Yeah.
I shared mine in the chat.
Oh, cool. So Ever needs a little bit more time. Is that right, Ever? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna open up Daisy's because I'm very curious. And these are not complete, which is totally fine. Let me just sign into this account. Cool. So find the greatest common factor of the two numbers. Very cool.
I'll do it.
You want to do it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for sharing, Daisy. A simple place for your students to drop their ideas. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And the rest of you, if you feel like sharing yours, feel free to drop it in the chat, but I'm going to start moving on. So let me get back into my presentation here. So some of you may be thinking, but Hans, I don't have time to build amazing Jamboards for student engagement. Well, guess what, guys? Me neither. I don't got time for that. So we're going to do what all great teachers do. We're going to find, we're going to copy, we're going to edit and engage. Or in the words of Harry Wong, First Days of School, holla back, old school. Beg, borrow, and steal. That's what good teachers do. That's what we're going to do. So I've collected a few template collections that I want you guys to check out. This first one is by Chris S. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. But if you click on this blue make a copy, you'll be able to, it's going to force you to make a copy that will land in your drive so you can edit it and use it as needed. So go ahead and make a copy of that. And just in case you need this, I'm going to copy the link and drop it in the chat.
That's my name.
Is that a J for JoJo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here is, here's Chris's first one. He has 6 frames in this particular Jam formative set, but it says jot spot, which means students are given a number. So student number 2 is going to go to this spot number 2 and they're going to jot something. They're going to draw a little picture to show their answer. So imagine, 30 kids, one Jamboard drawing on their spot. Now this works really well if you have a tablet and you can zoom into that spot and draw something really tiny, but on your tablet or phone screen, it's a lot bigger, so you can be a lot more detailed. The next frame is 4 corners, where, kind of like what we did with the ice cream, you choose which of the 4 corners would you go to based off of a scenario. Stop and sketch, that same idea. So maybe that jot one was just 1 or 2 words, like notes, and this is the sketch. Graffiti wall, I'd mentioned that earlier, kind of a summary, a visual summary of a unit or concept. 3 things, what 3 things did you learn today? And oh, that's it. So you have 1 copy. Now, if you ever see a Jamboard and you want to make a copy of it, look for the 3 dots next to the share button and make a copy. So you're going to be doing that today. The next one, I'm going to actually have you guys copy 2 templates. And we actually have enough time to do this. And once you find which templates you want, I'm going to have you share one of them, one that you look forward to trying out with your kids in the chat. So if you click on, I don't know why, oh, it's animated. I'm going to fix this once and for all. Animation was so cool in the 90s, but, it's kind of whatever. I guess if it's purposeful, it's cool, but that wasn't purposeful. So 10 Jamboard templates for distance learning by the same guy. And this is from a blog called Ditch That Textbook by Matt Miller. And there's Chris himself. There's a little introduction, but down below are his templates. So I'm going to have you click this copy Jamboard template for 2. So you're just choosing 2 of these. So there's 2 truths and a fib, guess who, good, okay, bad for social emotional check-ins, thumbs up, thumbs down, fist to 5, and so on. So go ahead and look through those. I'm not going to give you a lot of time. I'll give you 1 minute, and then share what is one that you found of these 10 that you'd like to try with your students. So 1 minute to do that, and I'm going to drop this link into the chat as well, just in case you don't have the slides in front of you. It's so hard to wait, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, 1 minute on your marks, get set, go.
My tummy hurt. My tummy hurt.
Does your tummy hurt?
Yes.
I'm sorry, bud. Take about 30 more seconds to find 2 templates to make copies of and share one in the chat.
Do you want us to like copy the link and put it in the chat, or just the one we liked? Just like the name?
Yeah, just the name.
Okay.
So Daisy's going for 4 corners. Christina, fist to 5. Ever, 3 things template. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, guys. All right, next slide. I went and saved the best for last. This is, I'm going to stop the music. This is a Wakelet Collection by Holly Clark. I don't believe you need to have a Wakelet account to view her template. Just wanted to clarify. But I'm going to have you take a good amount of time. We have about 5 minutes left. I'm going to give you 4 minutes to go through these different templates. Try to identify something that would be helpful for you and your students. But if you click on this Wakelet link, I'm going to drop this into our chat just so you have this. This is a collection that was collected by Holly Clark, and she just has a lot in here. So it's all about scrolling through, finding, make a copy, and then share the coolest thing that you found, just the title of it, into the chat. I'm going to give you 4 minutes to do this, so that gives you enough time to go through here and really dig in. So I'm stopping talking. You go ahead and get started. And I'm starting the timer for 4 minutes right now.
You're done.
Nope.
It's so hard to wait.
It's so hard to wait. You're doing such a good job though, bud.
the water.
You guys have about 2 minutes left. Try to see if you can find 3 templates that you can make copies of. Christina is loving the 5th grade Jamboard collections. It's like a gold mine. That's what's happening. But the gold is hours of your life. And it's just raining down. You want to dance, buddy?
No.
No, you're sick. All right, take 1 more minute. Once you found 3, share your number 1 that you found of your 3 in the chat. How are you going to use that? Daisy says pros and cons for argumentative writing. Awesome. Esther is loving brainstorming for ELD. Yes, please.
Where's the picture?
All right, guys. So if we had time,
Oh.
we would discuss the elements of student engagement, but because we've come to the end of our time, I'm gonna fast forward. So hopefully you had some ideas. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this session. The last thing I'm gonna ask you to do in the chat, I'm going to drop in a link to the evaluation, shortest evaluation in the world. All you gotta do is just select the session, to rate it from 1 to 10, and then put 1 idea on how we can make it better, or how we can make it better. And it's funny because there were like 3 teachers that said the music was distracting,
No, 4
but then there were 3 other
teachers.
teachers who said the music was great. So if you want to join that discussion, feel free. Whatever. You can't please all the people all the time. So if you didn't like it, I'm sorry. But if you did like it, I may leave it in. Cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you for taking the time to do that. If you have any last questions about the Jamboard, you're welcome, Christina. Oh, Ever said Plot Jam is awesome for comprehension and retell. Great. Yeah. Hopefully you guys found something useful. And if you want to unmute your mic and say goodbye before you leave, I'll know you're a human.
Bye. Bye, JoJo.
Say bye-bye, JoJo.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye, JoJo. Hope you feel better.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, Han. Thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Han.
Have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving.
Good to see you,
See you,
Han.
Ever.
Take care.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one.
I do it.
Let's do it.